Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is LuxArts and welcome to a banner tutorial. So the reasoning behind this, my reasoning behind this is that I've kind of seen a lack of professional banner tutorials on YouTube. I know personally that hello, my mouse is spazzing out. I know personally that I found it really difficult to get into the GFX community because there is a serious lack of, not tutorials in general, but professional ones and English ones. I seem to find that there's a lot of German ones around, and yeah, I don't know what it is, but there's not many English ones. So I thought maybe I could get this going a little bit in the English community. So I'm just going to kind of show you here. You are going to need Cinema 4D and Photoshop for this, by the way. We're going to kind of do a style like this. I really like this style because everything seems washed away and then it really just brings out the colour in the text and the skin. I do really like it. If that's not kind of what you're looking for, if you're kind of looking for a brighter one, then I shall be doing more tutorials out soon if you guys like it. Just tell me down in the comments if you do like it. I'm just going to send that over there. So first what we're going to do is open up our rig. So for this we're going to be using... Oh yeah, I'm going to be using Atmo Artworks is Lightroom, and I'm going to be using the FMR 4.0 rig, both of which are free, so I'll link them down below and you guys can go download it. I think most of the things that I'm going to be using in this tutorial is going to be free, so I'm not going to ask you guys to pay anything for this. Obviously there are better things out there that are paid, but if you just want to try it out, see if you like it, then this is kind of the perfect one for you. So what you're going to do, you're going to first bring in your Lightroom and then the FMR rig. And you're going to want to go down here and select skin file. Go find your skin file. So I think mine's here somewhere. Here we go. Alright, perfect. And then what I kind of like to do first is just kind of get the eyes and the eyebrows going, and then we can like reshape it. I'm not going to be doing any extrusions on this because that's just kind of a difficult thing to do. I usually get rid of the fingers just by dragging this up and down, this one here. And I'm also going to change the pupil color to a nice black because I'm not a fan of the brown myself. And then you can just drag this one here into there. And then I'm also going to get, I'm going to get the eyebrow color. If you just choose screen color, and then I'm just going to go for this yellow that you see in the hair. That looks kind of nice. And then we're going to bring that in here as well. Now what I also prefer doing, let me just get the hat layer selected, sorry. Hat layer, you see this little eye here, just click it and there we go, that looks far better. And then what I kind of like to do is get a double eye going. So you're just going to want to select this and make sure your move tool selected up here. Just click this green arrow and bring it down until it stops being able to drag. You know what I mean. And then just bring it down until it stops. And then you're going to want to click this little box here, hold shift, and then click this one as well. You're going to want to go into coord and select this SY value to 2. And then I'm just going to go bring down the pupils so they fill up the eye. I'm going to kind of get a mean look in his eyes. Actually, I'm going to go for a nice look on this. So you're just going to want to select this outer top box, and go up to the rotate tool, select the blue rotation axis, and I'm just going to turn it left a little bit, kind of like that, and that also rotates the eyebrow as well, so that's kind of nice. And then we're going to go for this one as well, just the exact same thing. Alright, that's looking pretty good. And now what I'm going to get onto is the actual moving the arms and legs. If you do know how to use the FMR rig, then just skip forwards. But I know that there's going to be some people that don't know it. So first I'm going to click this orange like gingerbread man kind of thing. And then just select the shoulders. So I'm going to select the right one here first. And make sure you've got the rotation tool selected. And I'm just going to go rotate him. Yeah, kind of like that. And then you're just going to select this little white box down here. Use the move tool just to kind of get a more rounded look. And I'm just going to twist this around a little bit as well. And I'll just play around with that until you've got what you're looking for. I'm just going to do it really quickly so it doesn't take up too much time. Obviously you would spend longer. Yeah. Okay. That's not bad. And then I'm going to select the other arm this time. I'm going to go to the rotate tool again. And this one's going to be a bit further out. Move tool. This little grey box. And just going to go move that in here. And then the legs, I'm nearly done, lads. The legs are really easy. Actually, I don't think you even have to go into this gingerbread man thing. Select the grey box, make sure the move tool's selected, and you're just going to play around with the arrows until this looks good. I'm just going to kind of go for a really simple running motion. That looks kind of good. And then I also like to play around with the neck as well. So if we just select that grey box right there, I'm just going to kind of move it up. What looks better, that or... Yeah, I'm kind of liking that actually. Well, that doesn't look bad. So if you download the Atmo Lightroom, then you should already have the render settings installed. I'm just going to kind of get a nice view of him. Like that. That looks about right. I don't usually like to get most of the legs and just the bottom of the legs. So if we zoom in a bit, you can... I'm sure most of you guys know this, but you can just use these tools here just to kind of move it into place of what camera view you'd like. And that's perfect. So now we're going to go to these render settings right here. I'm going to go to save. Those three dots there. And I'm just going to select where I want it to go. So I'm just going to go Lux Arts Tutorial. Save. And I'm just going to go render this out. It shouldn't take too long. Just click this little button here. Okay, yeah, that's not going to take too long. But whilst we are doing that, we're going to go into Photoshop. Just like that, Photoshop. And I'm going to be using my banner template from the Adam K pack. Just type in banner template PSD. I might include one in the description below. So I'm just going to open that up. Let's go find that. Where did all this come from? I don't know. Where is it? Pictures. Okay, this is one that I'm just used to, so I'm going to be using that. And I left my last banner in there, so let me just get rid of all this. Okay, so we're just left with what you would get. Okay, so what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to use the Atmo Artworks exclusive pack and the Zertrix FX pack as well for this tutorial. Zertrix one is quite big, so we're gonna have to wait a while. Right, so what I like to do is go into this Atmo Artworks and go to screenshots. I prefer the normal screenshots, just kind of find one that you like the look of. So one that would kind of look good, washed out, maybe with a kind of sad feel. What was that one? I'm not feeling that. Actually, that one will do. Okay, so you're going to want to drag it down. select your banner background, and just drag it in. Perfect. And then I'm probably going to bring this layer behind the rectangles, and then I'm just going to select the move tool here and then just drag it into view. I'm going to press Ctrl T, and then I'm going to hold Shift and bring this out until it fills up our banner. I'm just going to move it down using the arrow keys whilst Ctrl T is selected. And I think that's actually going to look kind of nice. So perfect. And now you're just going to want to go to hue and saturation here, and just bring the saturation here just really down, not all the way. Still want a little bit of color. So I'm going to go for -87 here. Obviously, you guys can tune it to how you'd like it. And then, but we're not done yet. We're going to go to filter, and then we're going to go to blur, radial blur, zoom. I usually go for about 10. Give us a minute. And I did it on the. Alright, you're going to want to select your background for this one. Sorry, I selected the saturation. Going to go to radial blur, zoom 10. Okay, that's going to give you like a little kind of like a lensy shot, blurred out on the edges. And then we're going to want to go to filter, distort, displace, and this is where you're going to need your displacement file. There's going to be one in the downloads in the description. So you're just going to want to select this one right here, and it's going to give you a lovely like torn away look. I really like this. And yeah, so that's just about done. But another thing that I usually like doing is creating another layer here under the saturation, and then I'm going to go box. I'm going to select the foreground color as a kind of grey, sad grey, not too light, kind of like that. And then I'm just going to drag it around the viewable bit of the part of the banner like that. And then I'm going to go to eraser. I'm probably going to select about 1,500 for this one. Oops. 1,500 is kind of nice. And then I'm going to go to mode is going to be brush. And then just select this fifth one along here. It comes pre-installed with Photoshop. And then you're going to want to right click the rectangle and rasterize layer. And then just kind of find the center here. And then press it once, maybe twice. Twice looks kind of good. And we're kind of done with that. So what I'd probably do is, well, I'll just merge these two actually for the minute. Just merge these, merge layers. Okay, so our render is finished. So I'm going to go to open, and then wherever you saved your render. So in my case, I think I saved it over here somewhere. Yep, this is the one. It works, excuse me, it works really good with a bright skin, just to make that color, those colors really pop out. If not, then I'll show you a little trick in a minute. If your skin isn't that bright. Okay. I'm just going to pop him in. Yeah, probably on the right, on the left, sorry. In my case. Click enter. And then we're going to drag this one above the hue and saturation because we don't want it to be black and white. And already you can see it really pops out. Just drag him to the edge, because as you can see, this blue line here, this is what you're going to be able to see on mobile, just this box here. And then this extra little section on each side, that's for tablets. And then this extra bit on the edge, that's for desktops. So that's why I kind of like 1500, because you still kind of get a little bit of a haze on the edge, even if you're on mobile. So we've got that. what I'm probably going to do now is I'm going to go to filter, blur, radial blur again, and we're going to do the same thing, zoom 10. Oh, excuse me. We're going to want to duplicate it. So I always make this mistake, even when I'm not on camera. And I'm going to do the same thing, blur, radial blur, zoom 10, perfecto. We're just going to zoom in by holding Control and plus, hit that about twice, and just move it to where your skin is. Then we're going to select the eraser tool. I'm going to go for a nice block one like that. I'm going to bring it down to about 60, and then just brush away around the inside of the skin, so it looks a little bit clearer. Actually, I'm going to bring it down a little bit more than that. Just getting these small spots like here. Okay, so that's already given us kind of a nice haze around it. But what I'm also going to do, I'm just going to hold, actually I'm going to do Control and minus twice again. And that'll bring you back. And then this one, I'm going to merge these two layers here, the two skin layers. Filter, distort, displace. And then we're going to use the same file that we used a minute ago. So I just got to go find it, displacements, there it is. Alright, and there we go. That's actually maybe a little bit much. You might want to go for about 8, something like 8. But let me just show you. Filter. Obviously, it's different in every kind of case. What looks better, what looks worse. So the last one that I used, 10, looked kind of good. Again, that's too much. I'm going to go for about 4, I think. Alright, that looks alright. Just a little haze around him. That's all we need. And okay. Zoom out again using Control minus, and we're just going to go onto the text now. This shouldn't take too long. And we're going to go for, I'm going to use, I usually like to use Code Bold. Just search it up on the internet, I think it's free. You find it, Code Bold. Looks pretty good. Take it down to about 48. Doesn't really matter because we can resize it in a minute. I'm just going to go Lux Arts. Obviously, just put your name in right now. And then I'm going to go into the text layer here, double click, and then I'm going to go into gradient overlay. I'm going to go for a kind of reddy yellow one, so I can just, it could be yellow. Just to kind of match the colours of your skin. And then I'm going to go to stroke. I'm going to select a dark red, similar to the skin. There we go. You can play around with all of these as well. It's all down to personal preference, really. I'm not much of a fan of bevel. I'm not going to use the bevel. And that's looking pretty nice. And now we're going to want to go to don't double click. Right click and then go to rasterize type. Then you're going to want to go Control T again, right click it, and then go to skew, and then just kind of bring it out to what you see fit. And so I'm kind of liking that actually. Go Control T again and just resize this because it's not really big enough. Alright, nice. And now I'm going to go to, this is the killer bit really. I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, no sorry, Distort, Displace. And this one's going to be about 10, 10. And you're going to want to go Wrap Around, Displace Effect. And this is going to give it a really nice like wrapped, kind of like a grungy splatter effect. And that's what you can see in the text here. You can see it's a similar style. And now I'm gonna I'm gonna create a new layer, and sorry, my Skype's going, and I'm gonna go to the brush tool, and then I'm gonna select about 100, I'd say. 100's kind of nice. And make sure you've got this the blocked one, not the one that changes shade. And I'm just going to kind of brush around the bottom. Actually, I'm going to go, how does it look? This. Just going to give it an extra bit of haze, and then you're going to want to go around the skin again. Like that. That's the boy. And then just bring the opacity down a little bit. Okay, perfect. And then this is when the Xertrix effects one's going to come in handy. We're now going to want to go to grunge for a start, and we could use a bit of color correction as well if we bring in the color corrections. So the grunge, just bring this under the rectangle, but above everything else that you're going to be able to see on the banner. I'm just gonna, which one kind of looks nice? Just one that's kind of even, so it doesn't look too obvious that you've used, that you can actually see the texture. I'll select that, and then I'm gonna bring the opacity down. About 20%, something like that. Yeah, that looks kind of alright. And then I'm also going to go to the color corrections. Bring this above the grunge and in between the rectangles here. And then you're going to kind of see one that looks sad. So that one looks pretty good. And if it's too much, then just bring the opacity down. So I usually find that it's far too much. I really like that actually. That brings out the colours in the skin really nice. So that's about it, guys. Actually, there is one last thing that I'm going to be doing, is get the rectangle tool. Let's get a thin rectangle that's just longer than the actual canvas. About this kind of thickness, maybe a little more. Select that. And then that's going to be under the hue and saturation as well. I'm going to put that right there. And I need to Control I want to say J. Yes, it is J. Then you're going to select one of them. Just kind of bring it down so you can see a little gap in between the two lines here. Alright. And then select both of them. Merge shapes. Or yeah, that should do. And then filter. We'll go to distort displace. Okay. And then I'll probably go for, yeah, 10 should do. We want it really kind of, yes, that's what we're looking for. And then Control T and rotate it a little bit. I prefer it rotated this way myself. Yeah. We'll kind of stretch it around. Or maybe going to bring it down a little bit. Yep. Alright, so I think that's about done. So this is a kind of sad feel that I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for a really like jumpy style next time. So definitely stay tuned for this. For that, if you've got any recommendations on my kind of skills doing a tutorial, then please feel free to tell me, because this is the first one that I've done. I'm not too good at commentaries yet, so please give me some feedback down below. And remember, all the links to the downloads that you might need and any of this will be in the description, so definitely check it out there. And if you did try this and you're happy with the result, maybe you could send me the link to the image that you came out with, because I'd really like to see what you guys came up with. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time then. Peace.